You're right on time for Hope TV News Watch on this 30th day of 2024. A very good evening to you and welcome to the broadcast. My name is Kimani and my co-presenter on the sign language interpretation tonight is Boniface Morethi. Now, the Azimio la Umoja One Kenya coalition has again faulted President William Ruto's policies. Speaking today after an Azimio summit meeting in Nairobi, the leaders led by opposition leader Raila Odinga blamed the Kenya Kwanza government for the tough economic times being witnessed in the country, alleging that they are a direct result of President William Ruto's policies. At the same time, the opposition has asked the Kenya Kwanza administration to keep its hand off the judiciary.
Azimio remains satisfied with its activities that were able to focus on the excesses of the Kenya Kwanza regime that has made life miserable for the greater majority of Kenyans. Because of Azimio's focus and steadfastness, the cost of living as government-induced pain is understood to be a direct result of Ruto's policies and not only global environment or previous regime. So this is purely Ruto's failed policies, and it should not be blamed on any global environment or Uhuru Kenyatta's regime almost 2 years later. The coalition is satisfied with the work of standing up for Kenyans and commits to continue holding the regime to account and to put blame where it belongs on areas like the ever-rising taxes, the deteriorating relationship with our neighbors, the rampant corruption in government, the tribalism in public service, the deterioration of the Kenya shilling, and general deterioration of our economy.
Azimio stands for the rule of law and supports the need for an independent and professional judiciary. Subsequently, we demand that the Kenya Kwanza regime must keep its hands off the judiciary. We take note of the support expressed by the United States government for the Ruto regime to appeal against the ruling on the deployment of police to Haiti. It is our hope that all parties shall respect the independence of the judiciary and that foreign interests will keep off.
President William Ruto has urged European investors to explore investment opportunities in Africa. Speaking today at the European Corporate Council on Africa and the Middle East in Rome, Italy, the head of state said investing in Africa is a smart business decision owing to its vast untapped resources. President Ruto, however, said Africa's potential cannot be realized without the right technologies and financial support, calling on Europe to harness its technologies in Africa and help unlock its vast resources for the mutual benefit of both parties. During President Ruto's two-day visit to Italy, he addressed the Italy-Africa Summit that focused on food security, vocational training, energy and infrastructure development.
By the year 2050, a quarter of the world's population will be living in the African continent by the year 2050. And therefore, any business person, including Kemal, if you're looking as a business person, you must think about the market.
Yes.
The market will be in Africa shortly. We are having a new conversation about our continent.
Yes.
We are very proud of what the continent can achieve and what the continent has to share with the rest of the globe. We are very confident that the resources we have in our continent, if they were complemented by the technologies that we have in this part of the world and the financing that we can all put it together, we can forge a win-win outcome for Europe and Africa and for Africa and the globe.
Away from that, and the Kenya Medical Practitioners, Pharmacist and Dentist Union KMPDU have issued a one-month strike notice to the national government to address critical issues such as comprehensive health care for its members, deplorable working conditions, the failure to honor labor rights, and delayed payments, among others. Now, while questioning the government's decision to control certain services the doctors can access under the Social Health Fund, KMPDU Secretary General Dr. Davji Atela said that failure to restore the comprehensive healthcare for its members will result in a nationwide strike. Gloria Musimbi with more.
Medics under the Kenya Medical Practitioners, Pharmacists and Dentists Union KMPDU have rejected the recently implemented Social Health Fund that they claim denies Kenyans access to comprehensive healthcare despite the substantial contributions through 2.75% gross salary deductions to SHIF.
We are also saying very strongly that 2.75% contribution that is being put upon the workers is an outright exploitation. It is not logical for the government to institute 2.75% on the gross salary of workers without giving consideration the income of the workers. We have seen many Kenyans and many doctors particularly who already are below a third rule. Many of them are in loans and in debt, and therefore if the government goes ahead to infect the 2.75%, it will be sending most of the workers or most of the doctors to an inability even to manage their daily subsistence and their daily services.
KMPDU Secretary General Dr. Davji Atela raised concerns on the deplorable working conditions experienced by doctors in various counties, noting that they undermine their constitutional rights.
We condemn in the strongest terms the blatant disregard to the welfare of healthcare professionals who, despite the unwavering commitment to the healthcare and well-being of the Kenyans, find themselves subjected to deplorable working conditions and have now been forced to down their tools, as I've said, in Homa Bay County, and the one that is coming up in Wasigishu, in Elgeyo Marakwet, and in Kitui.
KMPDU has meanwhile called on county governments to fully implement collective bargaining agreements, CBAs.
That Machakos County, that over a long period of time has promised to sort out the issues of CBA, but they have remained unimplemented. We cannot continue waiting for the county to give promises, to do public relations, with the plight of healthcare workers remaining unattended to. For Makueni County, in a similar manner, has decided not to implement the CBA and the Kwale County. And we are going to follow the same steps that we have done for Homa Bay and Kitui and Wasigishu and issue them the strike notices.
The union has blamed county governments for not addressing issues raised that have led to deterioration of the health sector, including the retraction of contracts that were offered to medics recently.
We want to warn the county that it's not just the issue of those doctors, it's an issue of healthcare services in Nairobi County. And therefore, those doctors does not need to be discriminated. Most of them were subjected to bribes and to violation, of which the union has come out strongly, and if need be, next week or the week after, we are going to issue a strike notice to Nairobi County. We demand for comprehensive cover for our members. Failure to read this call will force the union to unprecedented strikes. And these issues that we are demanding are things that we won't compromise on. The medical cover, the employment of doctors, the posting of doctors to the internship, the implementation of the collective bargaining of 2017-2021, the implementation and negotiation of the new CBA, these are things that we won't compromise on. And as we continue the discussion and the conversation, we have already seen a trend among the 10 counties we visited. The doctors are out and ready to go for a strike.
This as the KMPDU continues to raise concerns on critical issues such as inadequate hospital equipment, insufficient drug supplies, the failure to honor collective bargaining agreements CBAs, and delayed promotions among others. Reporting for OpTV Newswatch, I'm Gloria Musimbi.
Thank you so much, Gloria, for that report. Now, residents of Mailinane in Nanyuki, Laikipia County will now have easy access to healthcare services following the commissioning of a state-of-the-art healthcare facility constructed by the Kenya Pipeline Company's philanthropic arm KPC Foundation. Now, the facility worth 8 million shillings is expected to enhance access to basic healthcare needs for the Mailinane community members and boost overall delivery of healthcare services in Laikipia County. A former Kipipiri Member of Parliament and National Assembly Majority Leader Amos Kimunya is in mourning following the death of his wife Lucy Kimunya. In a statement released on Tuesday, Kimani announced that his wife, Lucy, died while receiving treatment at a Nairobi hospital. In a touching tribute, he described her as a key pillar in both his personal and political life, emphasizing her significant contributions to the community and various initiatives supporting the youth and women's empowerment. The former finance minister has been maintaining a quiet and private life after failing to recapture his seat in the 2022 general election. South Africa's ruling party, ANC, has suspended the country's former president, Jacob Zuma, from the party and vowed to launch a legal challenge against a rival group campaigning in his name. The decision, which was widely expected, will be seen as a further sign of disunity in the movement ahead of this year's general election, in which the long-dominant ANC is expected to lose ground. Zuma was the fourth president of democratic South Africa from 2009 to 2018, but was forced from office under the cloud of corruption allegations. In December 2023, Zuma declared that he will be campaigning for a new party, Umkhonto weSizwe, or Spear of the Nation, named after the ANC's former armed wing during the anti-apartheid struggle.
The NEC concluded that exceptional circumstances exist to justify and warrant an immediate decision to suspend former ANC President Jacob Zuma in line with Rule 25.60.
Following the increased cases of death of Israel nationals in Rwanda, Palestine, among other countries, that has led many families homeless and others losing their loved ones, the United Nations office at Nairobi, in collaboration with the Israel Embassy in Kenya, have today led the UN agencies, members of diplomatic corps in Kenya, and university students to mark the International Day of Commemoration in memory of the victims of Holocaust. Our reporter, Nelias Wanjiro, with more.
Following the increased cases of killings in Israel and Palestine that has affected the relationship between the two countries, today the United Nations office at Nairobi, in collaboration with the Israel Embassy in Kenya, have led the UN agencies, members of diplomatic corps in Kenya, and university students to mark the International Day of Commemoration in memory of the victims of Holocaust in Israel. In the meeting that took place at UN office in Gigiri, Nairobi, the stakeholders emphasized on preaching peace and humanity to every person, regardless of their nationality. The ambassador of the State of Israel in Kenya, Michael Otem, has cited the incident and later gave some of the measures he feels should be taken to end the disunity among Israel and Palestine.
With regard to the UN, I think very important is what happens these days with UNRWA, the agency that takes care of the refugees. As you know, quite a few countries have decided to stop financing UNRWA, something we've been alerting many years back. I just watched yesterday a speech of my colleague in the UN many years back saying that UNRWA's books.
He added that many deaths are brought by lack of good leadership in place that is affecting the economy of the two countries.
The General Assembly decided that to commemorate the International Holocaust Memorial Day on 27th of January, the day when the Soviet Red Army liberated Auschwitz, liberated the inmates, the prisoners, the Jewish prisoners in Auschwitz. And we do it this year on the 30th because 27th fell on a Saturday, and obviously we couldn't do it on Saturday.
This comes after the International Court of Justice, ICJ, issued a directive to Israel to end the Holocaust against the Palestinians. University students who attended the commemoration event have opinion that the leaders from the two countries should meet urgently with an aim of solving the dispute, failure to which the ICJ should declare a more permanent resolution to end the crisis.
What I've learned today is that the world is at a place whereby we need more forgiveness, we need more loving. We need to appreciate each other more. We're at a place, basically at the global stage, whereby there is war raging everywhere. There is racism, there is xenophobia, there is hate. We're at a place whereby hate is at a greater magnitude. And from this, we are learning that there is a desire for forgiveness, there's a desire for love, there's a desire for understanding, and the desire basically for tolerance.
The ICJ said that Israel should immediately stop the killings and take proper precautions to protect Palestinians in Gaza. Further, they have promised to give a judgment on the Holocaust case presented to them by the Palestinians before Friday this week. Reporting for Hope TV News Watch, my name is Nelias Wanjiru.
Thank you so much, Nelias, for that report. Now, that report by Nelias takes us to a news break, but after the break, I'll be back with the business and sports news. Stick around.
Hey, what's up?
Let's go to church together. The Hope Media crew will be fellowshipping at Sitam Thika Road on Sunday, the 4th of February 2024. Here is to invite you to join us in either the first service, which begins at 8:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m., or the second service from 11:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. You can also stream in live on Hope TV or on our social media pages at Hope FM Live or at Hope TV Kenya. Come meet your favorite presenters as we all gather in the presence of the Lord our God.
Hello there, praise the name of the Lord. My name is Evelyn Wanjiru. To get Naiwe Maombi as your skiza tune, SMS skiza 8830022 to 811. Hope Skiza, spreading the hope.
Welcome back. You're watching Hope TV News Watch. Now let's get down to business. And the Kenya Association of Manufacturers and Unilever Kenya have joined forces to inaugurate the 2024 Business Growth Program, a collaborative effort aimed at bolstering the growth of manufacturing small and medium-sized enterprises. The initiative, initiated by the Kenya Association of Manufacturers in 2016, is designed to empower SMEs in the manufacturing sector with the essential tools, resources, and guidance needed to enhance competitiveness, expand market reach, and foster sustainable growth. Brian Mugambi with the report.
With the collaborative efforts of Kenya Association of Manufacturers, KAM, and Unilever, the 2024 Business Growth Program has been launched to equip manufacturing SMEs with the skills and knowledge necessary to thrive in the ever-evolving business landscape. Optimistic of the collaborative initiatives between KAM and Unilever, Shiro Waweru Waithaka, KAM Board Director and Manufacturing SME Hub Chair, has highlighted the critical role played by manufacturing small and medium-sized enterprises, SMEs, in providing innovative products and contributing to the country's socio-economic development.
Today I heard so many businesses here that are manufacturing locally, sourcing locally, trading in Kenya shillings. Others are trading with our neighbors, right? So what does that mean for us? SMEs play a critical role in economies worldwide, especially in developing countries, comprising 90% of businesses, 90%.
Raswa Nekesa, Unilever Supplier Program Diversity Lead, underscored the importance of local sourcing, especially in light of the lessons learned from the impact of COVID-19, and also did highlight the program's focus on assisting SMEs in scaling up both locally and internationally. Joyce Njogu, KAM Head of Consulting and Business Development, emphasized the significance of collaborative initiatives in strengthening the SME sector.
I think COVID birthed in us, and not just Unilever, it's across big corporates and multinationals, the need to localize as much as we can. And this is what the country needs, yeah? We realize that if we don't take the bull by its horns and develop local solutions to our problems, then we are not going to survive in the long term.
The 2024 Business Growth Program unfolds across 7 modules, addressing various business needs to enhance SME competitiveness, expand market reach, and foster sustainable growth. These modules cover aspects such as business growth strategy, product management, market development, finance management, supply chain management, human resource management, and good manufacturing practices.
The question that I will probably get is Unilever going to give us market for the products? Yes, we will give you market. But let's do the assignment that we have ahead of us. Let's create products that Unilever will be able to buy. Unilever will mentor you. Call us. We might not have ready market for you, but let's walk the journey together.
As the program progresses, it is anticipated that participating SMEs will develop and implement successful business growth strategies, fostering a resilient and thriving manufacturing sector in Kenya and beyond. Brian Mugambi, Hope TV, Newswatch.
Thank you so much, Brian, for that report. Now, in a bid to enrich education through technology, global technology firm Epson has launched a school donation program that will see 80 schools in the country receive printers, projectors, and visualizers. Now, the program is part of an initiative by Epson to give over 800 EcoTank printers and hundreds of bundles of interactive classroom kits to schools and hospitals across 8 countries in the Middle East and Africa region. The Ministry of Education has lauded the initiative, saying it will go a long way in supporting the implementation of competency-based curricula. Our reporter Alice Diana tells us more.
80 schools across the country are set to benefit with printers, projectors, and visualizers to aid in the implementation of the CBC curricula from early childhood to secondary education. Epson has partnered with Liquid Intelligent Technologies, who will provide last-mile support that will see schools receive equipment estimated at a cost of 4.9 million shillings. Liquid is already working on a program with UNICEF to connect schools to the internet across the country.
So at Epson, sustainability is at the core of our business. It's at the core of our belief, and we have invested in printing technology that provides a balance between children having the best education possible without impacting the environment in their learning process. So we are working with Epson EcoTank for this because Epson, the EcoTank models, they use heat-free technology, and that is the technology that's used in all our printers. So the printer can print thousands of pages with the ink that's included in the box. So that's about 3 years of ink. For the next 3 years, like the people that are using these printers, they won't have to worry about replenishing the ink. And even when the time comes and they need to replenish, the inks are very available and at a very affordable price.
Liquid Intelligent Technologies Group Chief Technology and Innovation Officer Ben Roberts noted that the partnership represents a significant step in enhancing educational opportunities through technology.
We do need to make partnerships. We have partnerships, obviously, with government.
Now, hosts Ivory Coast eliminated reigning champions Senegal in a penalty shootout to book their place in the 2023 Africa Cup of Nations quarterfinals, following a 1-1 draw after extra time in Yamoussoukro. Frank Casey, who had scored from the spot 4 minutes from the end of normal time, converted the winning penalty to seal an extraordinary victory for the hosts, who redeemed themselves after a humiliating group stage display which culminated in 2 defeats. Meanwhile, a late Ryan Mendes penalty helped Cape Verde overcome Mauritania to book a place in the quarterfinals of the Africa Cup of Nations for just the second time. Now, as the anticipation builds for the 4th edition of the magical Kenya Ladies Open, Kenyan golfers have expressed confidence to deliver an impressive performance at the tournament that is set to unfold at the 18-hole Baobab course in Vipingo Ridge from the 8th to the 11th of February 2024. The only women's professional golf tournament in East Africa has attracted a field of 108 golfers from around the globe, with the Kenyan contingent comprising of Naomi Wafula, Mercy Nyanchama, Chanel Wangari, Jacqueline Walter, and Kelly Gashaga. Now, hosts Ivory Coast eliminated reigning champion Senegal in a penalty shootout to book their place in the 2023 Africa Cup of Nations quarterfinals, following a 1-1 draw after extra time in Yamoussoukro. Frank Casey, who had scored from the spot 4 minutes from the end of normal time, converted the winning penalty to seal an extraordinary victory, humiliating group stage display which culminated in 2 defeats. Meanwhile, a late Ryan Mendes penalty helped Cape Verde overcome Mauritania to book a place in the quarterfinals of the Africa Cup of Nations for just the second time. Well, currently Mali are playing Burkina Faso, and in the 69th minute, the scoreline 2-1 in favor of Mali. Well, with that, we come to the end of our news tonight. Many thanks to you for watching Hope TV News Watch. On behalf of the whole team that made this broadcast a success, have yourselves a blessed night. My name is Kennedy Kimani, and my co-presenter on the sign language interpretation has been Boniface Murithi.